recently got into an interesting conversation. Well, I tried to be civil with this individual, but that spawned today's video. It's about copyrights and your characters. Are you being original, or you just being a copycat or a thief without knowing about it? So let's look at the first image. I don't know which two series these characters are from, but if you look at the eyes, the hair, the color of the skin, the facial structure, the little dot nose line, they're the same. Same with this character right here. Both these females, it's just too close. And then, even in the professional world, we have Loki from Fairy Tail and Ichigo from Bleach. They're exactly the same at this point. They eventually changed Loki. Now, on this one, this is from an indie creator, Captain Gamma. And on the other side, you have John Stewart, the Green Lantern. Now, when I first saw Captain Gamma, when this character said, "Oh, this is my original character," Green Lantern instantly popped into my mind. And I wasn't the only one. There were a lot of comments like, "Oh, this looks too much like Green Lantern." One guy even pointed out you have a G in the middle of his chest. Like, maybe you want to change the color scheme to like blue, green, or whatever. I'm sitting there thinking, have you not read the Green Lantern series? They've done all the different colors. So if you're gonna change the green, you might as well change the black to like some kind of gray. Add in a third color like gold or something. Give them extra armor pieces or whatever. Now, on to this one. This is how this whole argument got started. I saw the image on the right, and I just typed, "Oh, Hinata." I thought it was fan art of Hinata, older, before she grew out her hair, and I was just like, "No, it's not Hinata. It looks nothing like Hinata." And I'm like, "It looks 90% like Hinata." And he's like, "The colors are different." And I'm like, white, Japanese-looking skin, purple hair, short. The back of the hair is exactly the same. This person, it really didn't try. And he got very defensive, upset because I said it looked like Hinata, and I made my facts on why I thought it was Hinata. And this individual just kept basically virtually jumping up and down. "Oh, it's not Hinata. It's your opinion. Blah blah blah." Yes, it's my opinion, but when you design an original character, and the first thing that happens in somebody else's mind is, "Oh, you drew this established, well-known character from this series," you did not do your job as an artist. You basically and inherently pulled out what you've seen from memory, put it on the paper, and then convinced yourself subconsciously now that this is an original character. Because when someone points out something to me, "This character looks like this character," I'll look and I'll go, and if I can't see it, I'll ask why. I'll have them point out to me and go, "Oh, okay. Well, maybe I should change it up a little bit. Maybe I should change the hair, change the way their eyes, the skin." It's just the problem with a lot of younger artists that are drawing the manga style. You're drawing the same type of nose, that little dot, the little triangle, the little line for the mouth. The head shape is the same. I've rarely seen anybody who's serious about art not change the head shape up. I see a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I'm an artist. I want to do this for a living." But then all your characters have when it comes to their head, they have the little point at the bottom. It has the same head shape for everybody else. When they're not drawing from non-Japanese sources. So when you do that, your scope is going to be very limited. That's why I tell everybody, look from real life. Look at Marvel and DC. Some of their characters are ripped off of each other, but to a fault. So if you take a look at Darkside, who is on the left, and Thanos, I can't remember one, but one is actually a ripoff of the other to the point where you cannot tell the difference. Where they're like, "Okay, we're going to change the skin." But basically, the creators are like, "Well, we want somebody similar to this character, this big brute of a character. He's godlike. We'll just take the body shape, change the color, change the armor, changed the mouth, the eyes, the nose, and then they started changing the body shape at its own. So basically, the other one was it was no longer a carbon copy; it was a reference. Now, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you're blowing this out of proportion. You don't know what you're talking about." To those who don't realize that I know what I'm talking about, look at this image right here. On the right, obviously, you have Superman, and on the left, you have Captain Marvel. Now, for those who don't read DC or Marvel comics and don't know nothing about them, check the description below. I provided an article. It basically gives a little summary. You can dig in deep if you want, but Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, now was taken to court by DC for violating their copyright to Superman. So basically, DC said, "Oh, you copied our character that we created in 1932, and it's later, and you come out later, and you basically copying where they have similar powers, they have capes, and so they took at the time Captain Marvel to court. So Fawcett ended up stopped publishing Captain Marvel in 1953 due to copyright, and then later on, DC had all the rights to it by 1991, and now you see him in their shows. Like you can tell that he is a distinct, different character. Superman was a base for Captain Marvel. It is plainly obvious. But was it a carbon copy? No. Not like the Hinata drawing that I showed you earlier, where it's 90% the same. So basically, what the issue is copyright and trademark is having a distorted effect when it comes to creativity. Now, how many people seen the Saint logo used for different football teams? They can say, "Oh, it's the Saints. This is this," and they can get away with that for the sole fact that that's part of eminent domain. If I'm wrong, somebody provide a link to correct me on that. But when it comes to characters, not so much. And the fact that you have to be careful with even calling your characters superheroes because DC and Marvel basically did a joint copyright of that. All that is in the description also. Personally, I think that's wrong. Now, some of you are asking, well, why do you keep calling this character on the left Shazam and Captain Marvel? Well, why Fawcett and DC were fighting over the rights, the copyright of Superman and Shazam, Marvel had created a character and called it Captain Marvel. So that's why it's called Shazam now. Marvel owns that, and rumor has it they publish one book a year or every 2 years, so DC cannot get that name back. So as you see, it can be very complicated. So moral of the story short, and to the artist, if you see this, if you post up a piece of art and someone says something that you don't like and you disagree, and then you reply, and then they reply, and they still say things that you don't like, and it gets you mad, just walk away. But if you're getting mad and you don't try to invalidate the points that the other artist has made, chances are they're probably right. Because if someone says something about you and you know it's completely true, you can disprove it very quickly. But if they say something about you that's true and you're getting mad, deep down, you really know that's the truth, especially if you cannot go against any of their points. Now, in the images, it's not to really call out somebody else. This is more of something I've been thinking about for a while, and the argument was the feather that broke the camel's back. So, if you're a young artist and you're drawing manga anime, just check and see if your character looks similar. And if it does, change it up. look look from real life. There are thousands of different type of hairstyles, head shapes, skin colors. But if all you watch is anime, all you're gonna see is the same skin tone, a whitish or pale skin tone, uh, the same 10 different rainbow hair colors and straight hair. Maybe sometimes you'll get a few curls in there, but mostly you're gonna get straight hair. And if that's all you see, that's all you're going to be able to draw from when you're trying to be creative. And that's not what the world looks like. That's not how art has developed over the centuries. Art is very diverse, but when you're just drawing from one perspective, you're not really going to make it in this industry. But until